Hello all, good evening. In today's video, we'll be discussing about this new chapter, that is accounting for not-for-profit organizations. So this is more popularly known as NPOs. In common layman terms, it is more popularly called as NPOs. So before we discuss about this definition, so I would want to explain you something very basic. See, before we come here, before we understand not-for-profit organization, so let's see how the normal business organization functions. So it is needless to say that the intention of any business is to earn the profit. You take any business in the market, their main intention is to earn profit. So, but whereas when it comes to non-profit organization, so the name itself says these are formed for not profit motive. That means the intention to run this non-profit organization is to not make profit. So this is the core underlying factor which differentiates NPOs from other business organizations. See, unlike other business organizations, there is no concept of buying and selling of goods, because profit is not their main motive. Then why is it formed? If profit is not the motive, then why it is formed? So that is what we'll be seeing it in the definition part. So let's understand what is the meaning of non-profit organizations. Okay, let me read out the definition here. The definition says not-for-profit organizations refer to organizations that are used for the welfare of society. So basically these are formed for the welfare of society, because since it is not formed to make profit, so this is intended to do some service to the society. And also it is worth noting that these are often set up as charitable institutions. So when we say charitable institutions, I think we all are aware of this concept, where there is an organization and which collects funds from people. So this is the concept of charitable organizations. So most of the charitable organizations, these are formed as NPOs, and they collect the funds, donations from the members, and they will utilize the fund for the intended purpose. Intended purpose means that is to spend for the welfare of society. Okay, and the definition further says without any profit motive. Okay, this, as we have discussed in the beginning, so there is no profit motive for NPOs. So why it is formed? It is formed to render certain services to public at large. So this is the core concept of NPOs. So when it comes to accounting part is very simple. But before we jump into the accounts of NPOs, so let's cover the basic concepts and the basic features of this kind of organizations. Yeah, continuing the definition part, it further says the main aim is to provide service to a specific group or public at large. See, these days I think it is very common, even if you go to the any of the shopping malls. So let me show it to you guys. Okay, the concept of NGOs is here. So it's very common that you go to any of the malls, this kind of stalls will be set up. You will see people, setting up this kind of mini counters, and they will be collecting the donations. So these are nothing but, these organizations are NPOs. They will collect the donations, and they will approach you and they will ask for money. And when members donate, this donation, it will be going to the NPOs, and this NPOs, they will use this kind of funds to run the NPO. See, this is the core concept what I've explained while explaining the definition. The whole concept of NGO functions like this. So all these funds, these funds, these are the major source of revenue. These are the major sources of revenue for NPOs. So based on this revenue, so they will be spending and they will be managing the business affairs of NPOs. So this is the whole concept of NPOs. Okay, now we'll see the characteristics of NPOs and then we'll jump to the accounting part of it. So back to the definition part. Okay, let's study this characteristics one by one. The first one, it says the main motive is to provide service, as it is already explained in the definition part. The intention is to provide service, and these are formed as charitable institutions. So this one also just now I have explained. And the third point, it says subscribers. Subscribers to such organizations are called members. See, as we have just seen here, generally NPOs, these are formed for a service with an intention to give some service. Say for example, there is an NPO which is formed for sports purpose, sports, and to gain access to this one, members, they'll have to pay for it. To gain access to the sports club, members are often expected to pay some amount. So these kind of subscriptions are very essential to run the NPOs. So anybody who's subscribing, this kind of subscribers, we call them as members. So members are major revenue generators for this kind of NPOs, because as we have already discussed, there's no concept of buying and selling of goods or services and then to make profit. So therefore we call them as the members, the subscribers, we call them as members. And fourth one, it says, the fourth point, surplus is not distributed amongst its members, instead it is added in capital fund. So because these are formed for service motive with an intention to give the service, so any surplus that is arising out of the club activities, it is added back to the fund. It is not encashed. You cannot put it in your pocket. It can be utilized. It can only be utilized for the purpose of and the cause of NPOs. Then fifth one, it says affairs are usually managed by elected members. Affairs are managed by elected members. So that means the day-to-day administration and the operations of the club are foreseen. These are governed by the elected members. So basically these members, they will appoint some people to look after the business affairs. Then the last one, it says, last characteristics, it says main source of income are contributions and donations. See, these members who often contribute or sometimes they give donations to run the NPOs, and these are the major sources of revenue for NPOs. So this is the broad concept and the characteristics of NPO. So now let's discuss about the accounts of NPOs. See, in regular business organizations, what will happen? We will also prepare books of accounts, which consists of P&L account, and mainly it also has cash flow statements, and also in the end we will prepare balance sheets. So here also the concept of preparation of books of accounts is same, but the types of accounts that are prepared in NPOs are little different. So we have receipts and payments account, and we have income and expenditure account, which is similar to P&L account, but here we don't use that word P&L account. We call it as income and expenditure account. Then of course in the end we also prepare balance sheet to see the position, to see the financial position. We will prepare the balance sheet in the end. Okay, now let's discuss all these accounts one by one in detail. So first let us start with receipts and payment account. So this one we will see it in detail. So what do you mean by receipts and payment account, what it contains, how to prepare it, what are the rules, what is the format of it? Let's discuss it in detail. See, receipts and payment account, it is your replica. You can call it as replica of, okay, let me erase this one. It is replica of cash book. Okay, this is more a polished version of cash book. So the name itself says receipts and payment account. So all the receipts will be recorded in the debit side and all the payments, it will be coming in the credit side. So that is why we have the name receipts and payments account. So there is no concept of accrual system here. Just we keep on recording everything that is being received. So that if it is a receipt, it comes under receipt side. If it is a payment, it goes and sits in the payment side. So that format also is there, that will be shown later. So let's understand few important points. Let's keep this in mind. Point number one, as I already told, it is a summary of cash book and bank transactions under various heads. Then the second one is irrespective of whether they pertain to current period or previous period. So as I told, there is no concept of accrual system here. So we only follow the cash basis. Whether it is received or not, that only we will see it. So therefore, irrespective of whether it belongs to current period or it belongs to the previous period, or sometimes the donations, it can be for future use also. But that does not matter. We will only follow the cash system here. And third point, whether they are of capital or revenue nature. So whatever it is, whether it is current period or whether it is capital or revenue in nature, we will follow the cash system. It will be recorded on cash basis. Okay. Fourth point, it says, as I already told, your all the receipts, it will be coming under the debit side, and total of all the amounts, it will be coming under the debit side. So once this is done, once the recording is over, in the end, we arrive at the balancing figure. So that means if all my receipts are more, then we call it as surplus. If my payments are more, then we call it as deficit. Often this is shown as balancing figure. So this is known as the concept of receipts and payment account. So in the question, all the details will be given. So mostly will be given the portions of cash book. So out of that cash book, we are expected to prepare this receipts and payment account. So it is very simple. As I already told, all the receipts will be coming under the debit side and all the payments will be sitting under the credit side. But format also I have prepared so that you will get a better clarity of receipts and payment account. So this is how your receipts and payment account will be. So as I told, all the receipts, it will be coming under debit side and all the payments, it will be coming under credit side. So mostly this opening balances of cash in hand and cash at bank, it will be given in the question. And after recording all the receipts and also after recording all the payments, then we arrive at this balancing figure. Cash at bank, mostly it will be balancing figure. So this is how we will work out the problems work out the problems. So the receipts and payment account, this is how it is prepared. Okay, now I'll be solving a question so that you will understand it better. See, if you look at it here, all these are receipts. Receipts, these are sitting under the different heads. Sometimes you members will subscribe to it, as I initially explained, and sometimes people, they give donations. They are not interested to visit the sports club, but at one shot they will be giving the donations. So basically all these receipts are sitting under different categories. So all these things we will be recording in the debit side, and all the payments, whatever type it is, it can be of any type. It can be wages and salaries paid to the people who run the NPOs, or rent paid, or sometimes they will hire a building to run the NPO, that, and rents, taxes, all this expenditure heads, it will be coming under payments part. So this is how we will prepare receipts and payment account. So now let's see one problem so that it will be very easy for you to understand whatever we have discussed so far. So let's see this illustration and see how to prepare the receipts and payment account. So let me read out what is given in the question. Your question says, from the following particulars relating to Silver Point, prepare receipt and payment account. So the question is asking us to prepare receipt and payment account for the year ending 31st March 2017. So as I already told, the information will be in the question. So this is the question, and from here we have to segregate two things. We have to segregate all the receipts and we have to segregate the payments. So how do we start with this one? So as and when we are reading the question, we will identify which one is a receipt and we will also identify which one is a payment. So if it is a receipt, I will be writing R, and if it is a payment, I will be writing it P, so that when I start preparing the receipts and payment account, it will be easy for me to post the entries. So starting, as I told you, opening balances, opening cash balance and bank balance, it is given in the question. So it will come as opening balance. Okay, this is nothing but my receipt part. And also there is some detailing given about subscriptions collected for these years. And this is also my receipt. So once I prepare, when I start my receipts and payment account, it will be easy for me to segregate. Okay, let me minimize it. Okay, next item is sale of refreshments. It is 1000 rupees. Then entrance fees received. So this is also my receipt. So what I will do is, I will first categorize everything, then we'll be preparing the receipts and payment account. Okay, here sale of old sports material. This is also my receipt. Then donation received for pavilion. This is also a receipt. From here onwards, your expenditure starts. If you pay attention here, rent paid is my payment, so I will write it as P. Similarly, any purchases also, it will be coming under payment. Then purchase of refreshments, this is also my payment. And then we have expenses for maintenance. Yeah, this is also a payment. Then salary paid, that is also an expenditure. So basically all these things are payments. So I will just write it as P, P and P. Closing cash in hand, it is given. So that means we have to identify what is the closing cash in bank. So this is often reflected as a balancing figure. So now the solution part is very simple. So we will prepare the receipts and payment account. So one side it will be receipts, the other side it will be payments. So based on whatever we have categorized here, we will keep on recording the items. If it is a receipt, it will be coming here. If it is a payment, it will be coming here. So once we post all the entries, then we will ascertain the total and then we will get the balancing figure. So let me write it here. So first one, how do we start? So let's start with receipts part. So once receipts is over, then we will start with payments. So balance brought down, it is already given in the question. Cash is 1000 rupees. Okay, let me write it here. Cash is 1000 rupees as given in the question. I'm writing it. Then bank is 7200. That also I'm writing as given in the question. Then subscriptions part, all put together, it is 9000. It is the sum of all these things. It is 9000. So I have taken it to the outer column. Then sale is 1000 rupees as given in the question. 1000. Then entrance fees, again it is 1000 rupees. Then sale of old sports material, it is 1200 as given in the question. Then donations received is 4600. Okay, so these are all the receipts part. So if you total all the receipts part, it will be 25,000. So now let's post the entries relating to payment side. So whatever we have marked here, all the receipts we have completed, all those payments also, once we post it here, then we will arrive at the balancing figure. So the rent paid as it is given in the question, it is 3,000. Then sports material purchased 4,800, that also I am writing. Then maintenance expenditure, purchase of refreshments, it is 600. Then tennis court expenses, it is as given in the question, it is 2,000. Then salary paid to the staff is 2,500 as per the question. Then tournament expenses is 2,400. Then we have furniture purchased, it is 1,500. Then office expenditure, it is 1,200. So the bank balance which is carried down, cash part, it is already given in the question. So as given in the question, it is 400. Now balancing figure, we have to identify it. Now let's total it, 25,000. So whatever is the remaining here, that is excess of receipts over the payments, it will be reflected as balancing figure. So if we total it out, the excess of receipts over the payment is 6,600. So this is my balancing figure. So this is how we will prepare the receipts and payment account. Okay, so in the next videos we will be seeing the income and expenditure account and the balance sheet. We will see it in the next videos. I hope these fundamental concepts about NPO and the rules regarding the preparation of receipts and payment account is clear. So see you all. Happy learning. See you until the next video. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.